Hi, I'm Steve Jankowski, and we're at Jankland Recording Studios at the Jersey Shore. I started a recording studio in 1996 for a friend of mine that wanted to record his saxophone solos for his record with me. He and I are great friends. We go way back, and he wasn't self-conscious at all to record his solos with me. So I bought some gear. I bought a microphone. I bought a tape machine, and we played his sax solos on his record together. That came out, and another friend heard it and said, "Wow, can you record my jazz quintet?" So I had to go to the store and buy more gear, more microphones, more tape machines, so I could record his band in his basement. That went really well, and little by little you get the story. Everybody started asking me to record them, and it grew to what you see now, which is a fully functional 56-track digital recording studio. And I do all types of projects. I do big band projects from the Ed Palermo Big Band to rock and roll projects. I'm working on a record right now for Robin DiLorenzo. I do small group jazz projects. I just had Tim Lecken in here with a really great jazz quintet. It's turned into quite a business. In addition to that, I'm a trumpet player with Blood, Sweat, and Tears with Nile Rodgers, who just won 3 Grammys for Daft Punk's song Get Lucky. And I'm traveling around the world. Let me tell you a little bit more about Jankland Recording. Once you pan around, you'll see that we have 4 isolation rooms, 1 big room with a grand piano, 7'6" Yamaha C7 custom grand concert piano. We have a Pearl Masters drum kit, 5-piece drum kit, pasty cymbals, great recording drum kit. We have a Hammond B3 organ, and we have 3 smaller rooms. So when I have a jazz group, a quintet, I can put a trumpet player in one isolation room, a drummer in another isolation room, an upright bass player in another isolation room. So if anyone makes a mistake, but the full take, the whole band sounded good, I can just replace one instrumentalist. So I can do many different things. When I have acoustic guitar, it has to be nice and quiet, but if it's acoustic guitar in a rock and roll band, he goes in the isolation room so you can hear a nice crystal clear acoustic guitar sound. Here at Jankland Recording, since I've been doing this since 1994, I've produced, recorded, engineered, or mastered over 76 CDs. I'd say at least 30 of those are in the jazz field, and about half of them, I would say, in the rock and pop genre. I started in music playing trumpet when I was in the 3rd grade. The guy across the street who taught me how to play played in Bruce Springsteen's first band, and he was probably about 10 years older than me. So when I was in 3rd grade, he was in high school, and he was a great teacher, made me fall in love with music. So once I got through high school, decided to go to music school. I went to the University of Miami to learn to be a recording engineer. When I got there, I studied recording engineering for 1 semester and then realized I really just wanted to play music. And I transferred to the University of Miami's Studio Music and Jazz department. And there I learned more about playing jazz, more about playing trumpet. And I had a great teacher there. His name was Bill Clark. He used to work with the NBC Symphony, NBC Radio Orchestra in New York. And he told me, he said, "Look, you need to go to New York. You need to move to New York and play there." I took his advice, and my junior year of college, I moved to New York and finished my schooling at the Manhattan School of Music. And while I was there, I started working in the scene in New York. And by the time school ended, I was making a living playing music. From there, I started touring rock and roll bands. I sub in Chicago. I got the gig with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. All bands I listened to growing up. So here at the studio, we've had some small jazz groups, jazz trios, even solo performers, but some of the more fun projects I've had to do are the big projects. For instance, the Ed Palermo Big Band, 17 guys, 10 horn players in the big room, drummer in the small room, bass player, guitar player, 2 keyboard players. And it's quite interesting fitting all those musicians in one room, keeping them all happy, keeping them fed and with water, and performing at their best. These guys are amazing musicians, and they actually came in and in 2 days got enough material for 2 full recordings, 2 full records. That was a lot of fun. As I mentioned in the past, the recording studio started out as 1 tape machine and 1 microphone, just recording solos for a friend of mine. We did those in the basement of a home that I owned, and that turned into the first studio. It was very small. It was in the basement of a condominium, and I only had 1 small room that a drum kit would fit in, and another even smaller room, isolation room for vocals. I did many records there. I've done over 30 records there, but there I could only record 1 instrumentalist at a time. That's why I decided to build this studio. I designed it and built it myself with the help of a very good friend, James Pappas, who is now Smokey Robinson's piano player and musical director. It took us a year and a half to build this studio because we were both on tour during that time. But now I can house a full big band, a small orchestra. So I've gone from the smallest of studios, a bedroom studio, to a fully functional, complete digital recording studio. The future for Jankland Recording, I really hope, is more of the same. I'm having a blast recording the artists and the acts that I'm recording. I love recording jazz. I love recording contemporary big band music, and Ed Palermo is one of the best arrangers and writers there is these days, and I really enjoy working with Ed. Love seeing what's coming in. The unknown is also fun because you get a new artist in here and you try to learn what their vision is for their music, and then you try to enhance that with all your knowledge, all the musical knowledge from the past 30 years of all my experiences. I try to put into each and every one's project, and that's always fun.